Good morning, everybody. So as some of you may know, Miss Norman's birthday is on June 18th. And everybody has these special things that make them love their own birthday. Do any of you have those special things that make you love your birthday? Okay. Well, every year my family throws me a small party with a delicious dinner, some yummy cake, and best of all, the people who I love, my family. And since my birthday is coming up this week, I wanted to share with you one of my favorite books about birthdays. I'm going to read this book to you called Otis and Sydney and the Best Birthday Ever. And as I read, I'm going to stop to ask you questions about Otis and Sydney, and I might even ask you some things like, do you like the characters or did you like the book? And these questions will all really help me to understand what you think about the book and what you might need a little bit of help understanding. So put on your thinking caps and get ready to listen. Okay, so this is a book right here. Called Otis and Sydney and the Best Birthday Ever. And it says right down here by Laura Numeroff, so she's the author. She wrote the book. And over here we have illustrated by Dan Anderson. So that means that he drew all of the pictures. And then right over here, as you remember from last time we were reading, we have the title on the spine of the book saying Otis and Sydney and the Best Birthday Ever with the author and the illustrator. Okay, so right here we have our title page with the title on it again, Otis and Sydney and the Best Birthday Ever, with the author and the illustrator. So from these pictures on the cover page and the title page, who can tell me a prediction what they think this might be about? What might this book be about? Okay, good. So let's start reading. One rainy day, Otis's umbrella broke while he was waiting for the bus. Sydney invited him to share his. They soon discovered that they had a lot in common. They both enjoyed dressing in silly costumes, playing tug-of-war, and jumping on a trampoline. That's when Otis and Sydney became best friends. Otis taught Sydney how to play his accordion, and Sydney taught Otis how to play his harmonica. They loved to make music together. Okay, so we're going to pause right here. So, can anybody tell me, do you think that Otis and Sydney are friends? Yeah? Okay, why do you think that? Good. It's good to go back into the book to remember some things that the author wrote about. Okay, every year they gave each other a birthday party. But this year, Otis wanted to do something special. He would have a surprise party for Sydney. Otis would invite all of their friends. They would hide, and when Sydney got home, they'd all yell, "Surprise!" and then do lots of fun things. So does Otis sound like a good friend to you guys? Would you like to be Otis's friend? Yeah, he sounds like a really good friend, especially a good friend to Sydney. Otis mailed the invitations. There he is, putting the invitations in the mailbox. The big day arrived. While Sydney was out, Otis got ready for the party. He decorated the house with balloons, baked a birthday cake, bought costumes down from the attic, and got out the harmonica and the accordion. Their two favorite instruments, right? So we'll pause right here. Can anybody tell me what do you think is going to happen next? Can you make a prediction maybe about the characters or something that will happen next? Can anybody tell me? Okay, those are good predictions. Then he waited for all the guests to arrive. He waited and waited and waited. Where is everybody? He worried. Oh no, look at Otis's face. Doesn't he look worried? I wonder where everybody is. Does anybody have a guess? Where is everybody? Maybe they're late, or maybe they got stuck in traffic. Good guesses. Suddenly, Otis realized that he had gotten the date wrong on the invitations, but it was too late. Oh no. So was our prediction right? Were they stuck in traffic? Or were they late? I don't know. Otis heard Sydney coming up the stairs, so he ran behind the couch to hide. Sydney opened the front door and turned on the lights. Then Otis jumped up and yelled, "Surprise!" So we think he's still going to have the party? A two-person party? We'll see. I planned a very special party for you, Otis said. Sydney smiled. For me? Yes, a surprise party, said Otis. I want you to have the best birthday ever. Wow, Otis sounds like a good friend, doesn't he? I think so. So, they did everything that Otis had planned for the party. Otis and Sydney dressed up in silly costumes, jumped on the trampoline, and played a game of tug-of-war. Then they played the harmonica and the accordion. Soon it was time to open presents. Otis handed Sydney his gift. Sydney ripped off the wrapping paper and opened the box. Inside was a bow tie. Sydney put it on. Thank you, Otis, he said. Then Otis brought out a big chocolate cake. Sydney blew out the candles. Otis cut the cake into 2 pieces. Why is there so much cake? Sydney asked. Well, I invited all of our friends to the party, but nobody came, Otis said. What happened? Asked Sydney. I got the date wrong on the invitations. I wanted this to be the best birthday ever, Otis said sadly, but instead I ruined it. So is Otis sad? Can anybody tell me? Is he sad right now? Why is he sad? Yeah, he made a mistake, but a lot of people make mistakes, and really, it's okay. So he's sad, but do we think that Sydney's sad? No, Sydney doesn't seem sad. No, so let's keep reading. Sydney says, but this was the best birthday ever. Really? Asked Otis. Absolutely, said Sydney. I got to spend it with you. Otis smiled, and Sydney smiled too. It was the best birthday ever. All right, so that's it. It's a good book about birthdays, right? So can anybody tell me, if you were Sydney, would you be sad that your friends didn't come to your party, even though your best friend put all of this work into making your birthday party? No, you wouldn't be sad because you'd have your best friend, right? Okay, so could one person tell me why nobody came to Sydney's birthday party? Can we remember back to the text and think, why did nobody come? Yeah, it wasn't because they didn't want to come. They got the invitations for the wrong day. So Otis made a mistake, and that doesn't make him a bad friend, does it? No, it doesn't make him a bad friend. I make mistakes all the time. We all make mistakes all the time, and books like this, especially books about fun things like birthdays, they teach us that it's okay to make mistakes as long as we remain kind to our friends, and we're always nice to our friends, and we understand that mistakes happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book. I know I did. So can anybody tell me if they like this book or not? Good, yes. And as always, it's always good to go back into the text and support your thinking with some of the words that the author said. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed the book.